Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin the Believer.
So much to talk about.
Really? Good.
Yes.
Good. I feel like I'm brain dead.
Oh, no, I've got plenty, girl. I've been banking it up. In fact, at one point I had to stop Blake from telling you this story. He's like,
Oh.
please just let me tell Ann.
How you are just chock full of stories. Every week you come over ready to go.
This is what I do.
This is where you're pulling your weight.
Thank you. Okay, so the epic night that we had where we were boy bands.
Yes, I was in sync and you were
One Direction. Girl, you pulled those costumes literally out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Thin air.
Yeah, I did them both in about 30 minutes total.
Yeah, thank you for that. It was, life has gone downhill for me since I've had kids. Halloween used to be my jam.
Life has gone downhill for me since I've had kids.
So the truth.
Not like my quality of
No
costumes,
just life in
creativity.
general.
No, life has gone downhill for me.
Absolutely. Don't you agree?
100.
Oh my gosh.
Couldn't agree more.
Like if you think back to my life pre-kids, girl,
oh my gosh,
living the dream.
Think back to my life. I was a wee baby child.
I mean, you're like, what? You've been a parent for 150 years.
About.
It feels that way.
It sure does.
But I'm newly, I'm only 6 years into this gig. And I tell you what, I used to live the dream. And part of that dream was coming up with the best costumes months in advance. Plenty of time to plan, plenty of time to pull things together.
Sure.
Now I'm like, I don't know if I'm going or coming or what Halloween. I'm just going to throw candy at kids. That's all I can do for Halloween.
I know it really has become lame. And I can thank our podcast for it because we had the conversation about our penny ones. And I was like, oh, One Direction.
Yes. Well done. So well done to us. Well done for us talking. But anyway, so you came up with the idea. You had an your costume cracked me up because it was so simple. It was just literally made out of styrofoam.
That I had plenty of thanks to the remodel.
And you created a sink that you then wore. The funniest part of my night was watching you walk up a flight of stairs.
Oh my gosh. I was as sober as I've ever been, and I almost peed my pants walking up those stairs.
Listening to you laugh, like it didn't even look as funny as it must have felt because you could not catch your breath. You were laughing so hard, which was so contagious.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
First of all, I didn't think I was making that sink so snug, but that sink, she was snug.
I know. I said, do you need like straps to hold it up? You're like, oh no, I'm good.
It just stays.
It ain't going nowhere.
Gotta like squeeze into it. It was horrible. It might be time to do some self-care in the health department.
There's all sorts of levels of styrofoam.
Yeah, it's fine. When do I have to be a sink again? Come on.
Never. You're fine. If you don't want to be, never again.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. So you're climbing up those stairs. That was hysterical.
They were very steep stairs.
And then we went, because it was a party. We started at Jack's house. It was kind of a celebration for his birthday. Happy birthday, Jack.
Yes, happy birthday.
Which is always fabulous and wonderful. We have a great time. And then we decide to go out to a very crowded, very fun nightclub at Play. And we go see Rocky
Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm like, what order does Rocky come in? Anyway, so we go and it's packed. It's
so
Halloween.
Full.
And it was the best part of my night because most people go. And first of all, you're at Play. People are either terrifying or sexy as hell.
Yeah.
There's no like in between.
I'm always the in between.
Yes, exactly. And then here come the two punny sisters. Like we're so dorky. We walk in, we're like, we're One Direction and NSYNC. But so that was already comical. But watching people watch you walk through this crowd, their faces were like a mixture of confusion at like, what is she? And also a little bit of disgust, like who would do that in a crowded bar?
It was the best crowd parter.
Oh, you parted the seas.
I did.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hysterical. So then that made my whole night. And then at one point I look over and you are having the time of your life. But at this point, you've broken the sink down. You just have
it's just the front.
just the front part, and just your little hands holding up and you're dancing behind your sink. Like by yourself. You're just like having the best time ever, living your best in-sync life.
It was great.
Oh, it was incredible. I had so much fun watching you that night.
My favorite part of that night was when I was trying to maneuver my way back up to the bar, and I passed this one woman who's like sitting down, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, excuse me," and she goes, "It's all right." In sync. And I was like, yes. And then she just gave this little smile, like, yeah, I got you.
I got you, girl.
Great. I was like, oh, that's amazing. Nobody else got me all night.
Right. And that's what you live for.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want everybody to get you.
Right.
You want just those really intelligent, high level, like, okay, yeah, you and I, let's make that connection. You are worth that.
Yeah, she loved it.
That is awesome. Too funny. Okay, so, which then just reminded me of the other epic story I have to tell you. Boy, I do have a lot to tell you tonight.
Oh, man.
Okay, but here's where
let's just not even tell stories.
I know. We are. We're going to tell all my stories.
I mean, honestly, it's my birthday weekend. Let's just...
It is your birthday. By the time this comes out, Erin will be 45 years old.
How freaking dare. Not that 45 is bad, but do not age me also, by 7 years.
Just made her older than me.
Yeah. Okay, go for it. Epic story. There's another epic story.
I haven't even gone to the first epic one. Okay. Some might say I'm long-winded, but you wouldn't dare. Okay. No. So we, of course, do our ritual of me. Actually, this time I said, let's go get Taco Bell. And you're like, yes, let's do it. So we go get Taco Bell.
I can't imagine an epic story coming from this.
Oh, yeah. Well,
okay.
It had nothing to do with farts or anything like that. I mean, usually that's what Taco Bell.
Did I do something I'm about to find out about?
No, okay. This happened after you and I parted ways.
Okay.
Okay. So, but when we get home, our whole block electricity is out.
All of it out. Yeah.
So there's no lights on anywhere. And James is like, well, we're all going to have to eat Taco Bell by candlelight, which was quite funny.
Was everyone still awake?
No, he meant like you, me, like all of us. But then you were like, I'm going over to my house. So you went to your house, and then James and I went in and ate our Taco Bell by candlelight. It was very romantic. It was very fun. So we laughed about it, and then we went to bed. Middle of the night, you know how my light comes on randomly?
Yeah.
Okay. So my light turns on, the bedroom light, and usually I pop up, turn that off.
And this was like at what?
Oh my gosh, like
5 in the morning?
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. You had already gone to bed. You hadn't
already gone to bed. No. Already ate our Taco Bell, went to sleep, been asleep for a long time.
Okay.
The light pops on, wakes me up. I'm like, damn it. So I hop up, turn the light off. Of course, I had been drinking a little bit, so I totally forgot about the electricity having been on. And every other light every light was on.
Oh my gosh.
Like the kids' lights were on, every light was on. So for about, I'd say 45 seconds, I had this moment of sheer terror and thinking, well, this is it. This.
I messed with the fae.
This is like some ghostly spirit proving to me, and like there's no way to debunk it. I'm turning on every light in your house at the same time. And in that moment, I thought, that is not electricity doing what electricity does. And I stood there for a minute like, what do I do?
Oh, man.
What do you do in this situation when your house is all of a sudden completely haunted? I'm like, do I wake up James? Do I call 911?
It's so weird that he wouldn't wake up with all the lights turning on.
He never does, girl. Never. That man never wakes up for anything.
Did anybody else in your family wake
up? Nobody woke up. It was just me.
Oh, that's even scarier.
Yes. And so I'm like, I froze for the 45 seconds until it clicked into my mind. Oh shit, the power had gone out. So every light was on when the power went out. Okay, that makes sense. And then as I'm going around turning out the lights, I'm literally saying out loud, told you, Erin. It's like still skeptic, bitch. So that was my like paranormal, creepy. I told Blake that story and he's like, oh my gosh, please let me tell you. And I'm like, no, I'm saving that for the podcast.
Yeah,
kid.
It's totally a podcast worthy.
Yes. And I thought you would get a kick out of it, especially because of how quickly I turned.
Yeah, I knew that is how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But like, you know how sometimes those kids who can't get math and then all of a sudden it all makes sense? That's going to be you with ghosts.
Yeah. Well, that will never be me with math. So maybe ghosts, but not math. Okay. So that was funny. Girl, buckle in for this.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm
No,
ready.
you're going to get way more excited about this story.
Okay.
So, this was the weekend of drag shows.
Jason Momoa found us. Momoa.
Jason Momoa. Get his name right.
The real one.
No.
Okay.
I think at this point I would be more excited to see David. I really would.
Oh.
But either one. I really.
Who is 38?
I know. So young.
So young.
Did
but
I
also,
call him old?
No, you kept saying I was calling him old, and I wasn't.
Oh.
I'm the same age as him, but also Bluetooth wasn't around when we were in our youth. Anyways, continue.
Okay.
Continue.
All right. So we don't go back and debunk my debunction. That's not how we do this podcast.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So this was the weekend of drag shows. I got to go there and then to Rocky Horror Show.
Which was that play, which is a drag show.
Yes, that was on Saturday night. The next day, I went to Lemieux for their drag show brunch, which
always a blast.
Oh my gosh!
I said
so
that like
fun.
I've been. I'm poor and I've never been.
Oh yeah, it's a once in a life. I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah,
I would only go for a very dear friend, and that's the only reason I went. It was Laura's birthday. Happy birthday, Laura! It was so much fun. We had a great time.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm standing outside, getting ready to go in, and I hear my skeptical sister.
What?
Girl, I was recognized.
You were not.
Out in public.
Not by somebody you didn't know.
By a listener that I didn't know.
You are lying.
I am not lying.
You are lying to my face
I
right
am
now.
not lying. You can ask right now. Jenna and Erin were both with me. Two
Not
of my
me,
friends.
Erin.
Not you, Erin. My friend Jenna and my friend Erin were out there with me. And they were like, oh my God, girl, you're so famous. And they're like laughing and making fun of me.
Oh my gosh.
So I hear my skeptical sister and I turn around like, oh, this is not happening.
Yeah.
This is not happening. I'm just kind of shaking my head.
They must also have a skeptical sister we're weirdly talking about right now.
And then she goes, Megan, right? And I was like, oh
my gosh.
So I'm dying. I'm like bent over. I'm like laughing so hard. First of all, clearly I don't take any sort of recognition. Like I was not cool. I was not cool. I wasn't like, oh, hey, yeah, that's me. No, I'm bent over, like hands on my knees laughing. I'm like, this is not happening right now. And she was like, yes. Now, it wasn't completely like somebody I had never met in my lifetime because the reason why she listens to us is because apparently you and I met her out at a bar one night.
Oh, funny.
But we didn't have a conversation with her. I was like, did we talk? She's like, no, you just handed me your like. No, she didn't say I did. You did.
I'm sure I did.
Handed her a sticker, and then she's been listening ever since.
Oh my god!
She was like, a long time ago, I saw you out at some bar, and then you handed me a sticker.
When I get drunk, I pass those out like,
well, girl,
like money, and I'm like, I don't know who's somebody really rich. I'm like, hey, here, you want this? You want this? It's ridiculous.
Oh well, it's working, girl. So I want to give a shout out to Megan and Kelsey because then she said, well, that's my friend Kelsey and she listens because I started listening. So then I got a picture with them that we're going to post on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
So excited. It was so much fun. And of course,
hilarious and weirdly embarrassing.
I know it was because then because of course I'm staying back and talking to Kelsey and Megan for a while.
Yeah.
So the other girls had already gone back to this full table of like 10 girls and told them all. So when I come back like, oh, you signed my boob, you autographed my boob, Megan. I'm like, shut up, you all.
Oh my gosh, that is nuts.
Oh, it was so fun. It was wild.
That is wild.
I told you you'd be more excited about that story.
I think I'm more excited for that than I would have been for Jason Momoa. Actually, definitely if you had met Jason Momoa.
Oh, right.
If I had met him, maybe my story.
Hold on. It would have been epic if Jason Momoa would have gone, my skeptical sister.
I heard you were talking about me and dreaming about me as a professor.
Right. Oh, it's too funny.
Oh, wow. That is shocking.
I know.
Truly.
I know.
Right? I love it. Well, hi, Kelsey and Megan.
Yes. Hi, Kelsey, Megan. Thank you so much for being listeners. And
sorry
we're so excited.
if I was obnoxious that time that I passed out stickers. Hopefully you liked it.
Clearly not enough for them to not listen.
Good. Yeah. If you want a sticker, you can become a Patreon or just hang out with me when I get drunk enough.
There you go. Oh, and we have to send Megan, another Megan. This is the night of Megans. Megan, our very original or OG story writer. She won the contest.
That's right.
Guessing what we were for Halloween.
Yeah, because we were obscure enough, it became a contest.
It did, and so we have to send that to Megan because she guessed
we got
it
like
first.
Polar plunge. Yeah. We got real weird guesses.
like a refrigerator.
Titanic. A couple people said Titanic, and I'm taking offense to it. Like I'm large. I'm large.
I don't think they meant you were the boat.
They thought I was the iceberg? That's worse.
Oh my God.
I'm what took him down.
You're gonna make me pee. I'm what took him down.
Oh,
No,
man.
I was thinking they maybe thought, but maybe it was, now that I think about it, the iceberg. I was
Yeah.
thinking they thought you were like stuck on the door, like you were
Oh, it was like Kate Winslet.
no, yeah, like you're like trying to get to whatever.
Yeah, or Jack floating in that water.
I don't know how they got that, but
Oh,
that's pretty
boy.
funny if they thought you were the iceberg.
I would have used better
Oh.
craftsmanship if I was going to. Those are precise lines.
Oh yeah, when it comes to costumes, Erin is legit.
Oh my gosh. We better get going.
Okay.
You ready?
Whew, yeah, I hope we got some short stories tonight.
Okay, so I'm going to start tonight, and I'm reading a story. It's a little bit convoluted how I got it. Is that the right use of that word? Like twists and turns.
If it's not, then it is on this podcast.
Okay. So a friend of mine, my friend Jill, heard this story from her friend.
Okay.
And said, Erin, you gotta get them to write in. Well, it was a lot of back and forth. But we have it now.
Okay.
But apparently their daughter wrote about this incident, which it happened to her.
Oh, okay.
And then like put it in for a school essay.
Oh, okay. So like first person.
This is a first person. I think she's 12 when she writes it.
That's okay.
This story is nice and creepy though.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm here for a creepy story.
But if you're like, wow, this doesn't sound like your normal writing in, well, that's because a 12-year-old wrote it, which is great. I mean, if you're 12, don't listen to this,
but give us your stories.
Yeah, give us your stories. And then when you're old enough to hear lots of cussing and I don't know, anything else we were going to drop on this podcast, then you can listen to your story being read.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the title of their story was called Where the Spirits Reside.
Oh, they're so cute.
I know.
I love it.
All right.
Do you think they looked up like different ways to say live? Like they picked up a thesaurus and like, what other words could I do for live that made me sound so smart?
Right, because where the spirit lives makes it feel like they're not dead yet.
Right.
So they really got to work that.
And also, I'm not judging because you're 12 because I still do that shit.
Oh, 100%. I'm not going to include a name because
they're 12.
They're 12 and it feels weird. Okay, here we go. My family decided to take a trip down to Tennessee to see my cousin for her birthday. My sister and I were so excited to see her, go to the party, and just play with her. The whole car ride there, my sister and I were planning out what we were going to do when we got to Tennessee. The car ride took at least 4 hours because we had to stop and get gas and go to the bathroom. This trip felt like it took forever to get to my cousin because we were so excited to be with her. When we finally arrived at my cousin's house, my sister and I keep having to change to leave the name out. Sorry if that sounds like I'm stumbling. My sister and I jumped out of the car and ran to hug my cousin. I could tell that she was just as excited to see us as we were to see her.
I can picture it all.
We told her of one of our ideas to do together. We wanted to go down to my grandma's driveway and practice our roller skating together, which is what I do every time I get out of the car.
Let's go roller skate.
She thought it was a really great idea. I had just got my brand new Barbie roller skates that were all pink with Barbie written all on the outside end of the shoe.
I would give this girl an A for detail.
Right? It's very descriptive.
I love it.
My sister had just gotten new rollerblades. They were white with beautiful red accents. My cousin had really cool skates, and she wore hers too. While we got our skates on, my dad left to go visit with his parents, and my mom and auntie went to the nursing home to see my grandma. They were going to be gone for a few hours. My Uncle Brian was home and would watch us as we played. Mostly, he was doing chores around the house, but kept an eye on us while he was doing them. Here's where the story gets interesting.
Ooh, I'm waiting with bated breath. But I do love all of the roller skate talk.
Right, it's very nostalgic. As soon as the three of us got our skates on, we went to my grandma's house to practice our skills in her driveway. It was a big driveway, so there was lots of room to go fast, go low, or do turns.
Nice.
The driveway was just below a very large window from the den of the house. When I say it is a large window, I mean it is almost the length of the house. The window is actually two large windows side by side each other. I laid down in front of them once, and my body was half the length of half of the windows.
Okay.
Getting a real visual for the window side.
Are you? Because they lost me at half of that, but that's okay.
So
I'm
even
thinking
laying
it's a big
down,
it's just a huge
only
window.
one window. It was even
Just huge.
It's huge, especially to a kid.
Okay.
The window is 4 of me long.
It's so cute. I love it.
It's a big window. The window looks into the room most used in my grandma's house.
Tell me more about this window.
What's the trim? Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Okay. The window looks into the room most used in my grandma's house. The den has the toys in it, the family TV, the comfy couch, and where we all gather for holidays. In front of the window, on the inside, was a long seat. I guess you could say this window was like a bay window with a seat in front of it.
Well, hey, 12-year-old knowing the term bay window.
Yeah. I mentioned the seat because my grandma had placed a doll on it as decoration. The doll stood in the corner. I don't like dolls that can stand.
No. No need. Why?
Absolutely not. I always thought it was weird, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
All right.
This kid is fancy as fuck.
Please don't listen.
Yeah.
The doll stood in the corner of this window seat. Back to the story.
I wonder if people who are not teachers find this as cute as we do.
Oh my goodness.
Or have 12-year-olds. I'm like, oh, it's so cute.
Right.
Back to the story. We're in the story.
Yeah, we never left it.
Never left the story. We may have wanted to during all the window talk. But we didn't.
Oh my gosh.
We
I'm
stuck
not
it
going to
out.
tell them I read this story. We're not making fun of your kid. We're just making fun of all 12-year-old
all
writing.
12-year-olds. It's great. I love it.
Okay, back to the story. Our day of roller skating was all going great until we heard a sound coming from the house. We looked up at the den window at the exact same time. We were really confused because nobody lived in that house and no sounds should be coming from the house. Because remember, the grandma's in the nursing home. We all looked back at each other. I guess we thought maybe we heard a bird hit the window or something.
Poor bird.
Dramatic. We were giggling at the moment.
Back to the
Wow, we were giggling at that moment when we heard the sound again.
Oh.
No, they heard it again.
Oh, so they were laughing at the
They were.
bird.
They were like, "Ha, that dumb bird!" And then,
and
then they heard it again.
Oh, 2 dead birds.
Right. This time, it wasn't a loud noise, but more like a knocking sound.
Ooh.
When we looked up at the window, we saw the doll that usually stands in the corner staring at us.
Oh, shit.
The doll was literally staring at us. Then the doll took its hand and went knock, knock, knock with its fist on the window.
Oh, shit.
They swear this is a true story.
Well, they're 12, but go on.
It then unclenched its fist and waved at us. The doll was alive. We were so scared. We simultaneously clambered together.
Clambered?
I know.
This 12-year-old's a genius.
And got into the back seat of the car that was parked in the driveway. Luckily, my aunt's car was in the driveway and unlocked, so we were able to hunker down in the floor of the back seat next to each other. We huddled together on the floor, crying and rocking. Aww. Little did we know that Uncle Brian had gone into the house while we were skating.
And was making the doll
move. He's like, this is going to freak them out.
But for real.
Right.
Uncle Brian's funny.
Yeah, possibly. My aunt had called him to find my grandma's purse and take it up to their house. He was in the house when the doll came alive. When he came out of the house, he started looking for us and was really worried when he couldn't find us. He was about to panic when he heard our cries from the car. He opened the car door and asked what happened. We told him, and he walked back up to the house. When we learned that he had been in the house, we thought maybe he had played a trick on us. Maybe he moved the doll and was just trying to scare us. Nope, that wasn't it.
How do you know?
He swears on his life, Megan.
Okay, but here's the thing. He's like, oh shit, I took this too far.
They are
I didn't
flipping.
I didn't realize they would
out.
Clamor.
They're clamored.
These girls are clamoring. Oh shit, I made them clamor. I don't want that to happen. I've got to pretend like I never was the culprit.
Oh no.
I can use big words too, 12-year-old. Culprit. You like that?
He swears on his life he wasn't even in that part of the house. He doesn't like going in the house alone. So he said he went straight to my grandma's bedroom, grabbed her purse, and immediately left. When my dad, aunt, and mom got back home, we were still shaken up by the doll. I remember when we told them, they sat looking at us and asked a million questions. I think they were trying to figure out if we were trying to pull one over on them. We weren't. We were really scared, and that doll knocked and waved at us.
Hmm.
Let me repeat. The doll
Oh.
knocked on the window,
Okay.
opened its fist, and waved at us. My sister and cousin and I were really shaken up by the event and wouldn't leave our parents' side for the rest of the trip.
Oh.
We stuck together like glue. Her teacher was like, you
Similes.
must have some simile, at least one.
I love it.
Anytime my cousin, sister, and I would get together, we would talk about the waving doll. Unfortunately, my cousin had a bad accident a few years ago.
Oh, no.
She fell down her wooden staircase. Oh my gosh, hitting her head multiple times.
Oh, man.
She spent a lot of time in the hospital.
Wow.
She had a really, really bad concussion. She had to be homeschooled for a while and spent lots of time going to doctors trying to get better. Part of the last effects of the concussion is that she lost part of her memories. One of the memories that she lost was the doll waving event.
Well, thank God.
Right?
That's a good memory to lose.
Yeah, just take that out. I'm glad she's better now. She's really smart and ended up having the highest GPA in her graduating class.
Well, hey.
But I really wish she could remember the doll waving at us and all of the crying on the backseat of her mom's car.
No, I'm so glad she can't.
My sister and I talk about the doll waving every time we drive past my grandma's house going to my cousin's. My sister and I have tried to think what could have caused the doll knocking and waving.
What was that?
My eyes melting. Sorry. You're like, I'm convinced.
I'm like so into the, I'm like, holy shit, I think the doll just made a noise right here and it's not even here.
Oh gosh. What could have caused the doll knocking and waving? There isn't an explanation except that the ghost was trying to get our attention.
Okay, so this...
like a ghost in the doll is what I think she thinks.
Okay. Okay.
If you have ever thought your stuffed animal, dolls, or figurines come alive when you're out of the room, I think you might be right. It's like Toy Story. Maybe the toys have a life without us, and maybe the doll that waved to us was just trying to bring us into her life. Or maybe, and this is what I really believe happened.
Ooh. I mean, you're leaving me on the hang.
I'm sorry, it got weird.
Seat.
This doll. Sorry.
I feel like you're doing this on purpose. Tell me what it really
Stop
is.
talking so I can get through it. Oh my gosh.
Go.
Okay. Oh, Lord, I'm going to kill you. Or maybe, and this is what I really believe happened, this doll was being controlled by a ghost. I think that a ghost was controlling the doll because a doll can't move by itself. That I know of.
Oh, okay.
I think this ghost saw how much fun we were having on our roller skates and wanted to play with us.
Oh.
I don't blame the ghost for wanting to be with us. We were laughing a lot and having a really good time.
At dead birds. Just gonna put that in there.
Some dark humor. You and I can get down. I get it. I just wish the ghost hadn't freaked us out so badly.
Oh.
That's it.
Wow. What a great story.
Yeah.
12-year-old or not. I mean, that's a creepy story.
Right. If that really did happen.
It didn't, but if it did,
it would be really, really scary.
Okay.
To see a doll full on open its fist and knock and wave at you.
Well, hell yeah. That'd
be horrible.
Creepy AF.
That's like every Goosebumps.
Yeah, exactly. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Here's the thing though. You get a group of 12-year-old girls together. They can make each other
anything.
Yeah. You talk about group. What is that? Group hallucinations.
Yeah. That's legit for them.
Right there.
You don't have to debunk this too much for me because I was once 12.
Oh, yeah. We all have been.
Very scared of everything.
Yeah. I mean, I can just hear how that 12-year-old conversation evolved into that ghost is doing things. Or like
they heard a bump, they looked up and they saw the doll.
Yeah. And then like, oh, did you just see?
Did that doll move? I think that doll was turned the other way.
Oh, yeah. Here. And then snowballs and then like one more little sound of like the uncle in the house shut a door inside, and then that was it. It was like screaming and I saw it, and then I saw it, and then it just kept going, and then all of their heads made up that picture exactly the way they all three came up with it.
Of course. And in their mind that 100% happened. I don't normally full-heartedly go with your debunk immediately, but again, I was 12 once. I've had a 12-year-old daughter. You can scare yourself and you can make yourself believe you've seen something terrifying. Plus, I don't want to believe it because I don't want to believe that a doll would ever do that. That'd be really creepy and I don't want to believe that.
I mean, I'm 42 years old, and I convinced myself the other night that my entire house was very haunted in about 45 seconds. Then I realized, like, oh, wait a second. So yeah, it can definitely happen. Okay. So all of that window talk, remember in the beginning of the story, how big the window was?
Yeah.
If you want to go back, if you want to retell you, it was like 4 times her height.
Yeah, it was really long.
Very long window. So all of that window talk reminded me of this story that I remember hearing back in college. And, you know, it's one of those, of course, it happened to a friend that happened. So it could just totally be an urban legend or whatever. But I'm pretty sure the person it happened to is Jennifer's husband.
Oh, okay.
So my former roommate, I'm pretty sure he was the one that told me the story. Of course, it's around campfires. We used to go, again, whew, I would like to go back and revisit those days. Pre-kids, we used to go camping and four-wheeling all the time. It was great with all my Owensboro friends. Owensboro. I said, just said it like I was from there. Owensboro.
I lived there and I don't say it like
I
that.
know. Well, I basically lived there for 4 years because all of my friends were from there. So anyway, we would go to Turkey Bay. I mean, how country are we going to sound right now? We used to have a blast, but we sat around the campfire, and of course, you all tell stories.
Yeah.
So this story always stuck with me because it was just wild. His family, they would go to church every Sunday. They go to church and they come back home. And as they drive around the bend to get home, like around their driveway, they pull up and they had like a huge, probably as big as the window we heard about earlier, in the front of this house. Big
You mean
window.
4 times the length of a
4
12-year-old?
times the length. For exact measurement, if you're wondering, 4 times the length of a 12-year-old.
Okay.
That's exact measurements right there. In the front of their house.
Okay.
I'm almost picturing like mom and dad's, like that big round window in the front, but like even bigger.
Okay. But that's vertical.
Yeah.
This is a vertical window.
Yeah, it's the one that 4 times the length.
She laid down in front of it.
Oh.
It goes across her house.
Sorry, there was so much window talk.
And you weren't paying attention to any of it.
I tuned it all out. I'm like, good Lord, how big is this window? I could care less. So sorry. I'm sure you got an A on that paper. It was beautiful. Okay, so no, this is a vertical window. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's a big window in the front of the house. God, so much window talk. So they pull up and they see something on the window. And at first, like, what is that? And they get closer and it's bloody handprints.
Oh my gosh.
And so there are bloody handprints all over the front of the window. And then they go to the, like somebody's looking in. And then they go to the back of the house and there are bloody handprints on the back, like sliding glass door.
Oh my gosh.
Like it was looking in, like like trying to get into the house. And like knocking, like blood, like so much blood. You could see like where they were like knocking. And so somebody was in trouble. They never found out who or what happened. They kept looking for the news. They called hospitals. They called, like, somebody must have been in a car wreck or a hunting incident. Something happened.
Oh my gosh.
They called the police. The police came out. They never found out who those handprints belonged to. Is that not the freakiest story you've ever heard?
That's horrible.
It's horrible. It's either the best prank in the world or horrible.
Yeah. What could it have been?
I mean, like they were saying, like they kept thinking it had to have been either somebody was in trouble, like somebody was getting murdered or.
Yeah.
And then maybe they
were successful.
Right. And they never found them. Or maybe they went back to their captor and just kind of went back.
I mean, it could have just been like a bear attack.
Could have been something that, like, or a hunting accident or whatever. But nobody was ever found. Nothing ever came of it.
Oh my gosh.
And like this was like when he was a kid, and like he remembers pulling up and seeing this and like cops coming and it being this whole thing, and or they knew what happened and they never told him. You know what I mean? Like maybe they found out, but as a kid they never went back and told him.
Yeah, or maybe like the parents were like, I'm just not going to tell.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like maybe they found out. Maybe the adults found out.
I feel like at this point he's even older than me. Just call your parents. John.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, and I'm sure they've had that conversation. But either they went to their grave with it, or wouldn't that be insane?
Oh my gosh, that'd be so scary.
Yeah, totally terrifying.
What would you do? What would you do if somebody covered in blood showed up at your house? Like, please let me in. What would you do?
I don't know. That's one of those. I mean, I really would like to say that I would be intelligent about the way I would handle it, but I'm telling you what, I've discovered myself in the throes of things going down. I just go for it. I think I would open my door, and that's horrible. It's scary to say, but I don't think that I have. Like, I'll give you a prime example. Another story. I'm so sorry.
This might be a one and done story.
It could be, because this is kind of funny. So the other morning, this is like 5 o'clock in the morning, James bought the biggest truck you've ever seen in your life.
It's ginormous.
It's huge. My word for it was obnoxious. But
It's
whatever.
big for anybody, but if you don't realize how short Megan and I are.
Oh, Erin, when I say I look ridiculous getting into this truck, but here's the thing, is that he tried to do this one other time with this truck, and I was like, get rid of this truck, sell this truck immediately. It looks like a monster truck, and your wife is 5'0". I cannot get up inside this truck. This is so stupid. He sold that truck. Then he wanted to buy another truck, but he told me, don't worry, there is a step, and so you will not look ridiculous getting into this truck. Okay, fine. I'll let you have your fun. Get the truck. Let's do it. The step on my side is broken. Step on his side works great. And he's like, I'll fix it, which means someday, which means not in the near future.
Yeah.
So I had to go out in public and literally hoist myself up and sit on the floorboard and shimmy myself back and crawl
Why don't
up.
you just get in on the driver's side and scoot over?
Because there's a big thing. It's not like it's not level.
You'd still only look ridiculous inside the cab.
Okay, from now on, the next time we go out to dinner, that's what I'll do. No, the next time we go out to dinner, I'm driving myself. I'll meet y'all there, because it looks ridiculous. I also have to literally jump, like brace myself and jump out of this car, this truck. It is so stupid.
Oh, gosh.
But whatever. I love the man. It's fine. And I want him to be happy, and this is what makes him happy. I don't understand why. It's very obnoxious. But anyway, I love you, honey. If you ever listen to this, it's fine. Okay. So anyway, but of course, it's this new thing, right? So it's like he loves it so much. 5 o'clock in the morning, he gets up for work, and all of a sudden I hear him go, Megan, call 911.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what? And he had just gotten out of the shower. So he's like naked, walking around with a towel on. He says, somebody's trying to steal my truck. I'm like, what? Somebody's trying to steal that obnoxious truck.
Like, good, let him.
Yes. Like, please let him know the driver's side step is not working. But other than that, works great. So I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, seriously, I see somebody out there with a flashlight. I'm like, oh my God. So I look out the window, and sure enough, there's somebody out there with a flashlight. Okay, here's what little 5-foot me does. I run out there on the porch, and I'm like, what are you doing? That's what I'm saying. I don't think before I act. I just go guns blazing in, but with no guns.
Was it just some punk?
Courier Journal was the guy. The guy is like, apparently we're now subscribed to Courier Journal somehow.
Oh, that's weird. That's our local newspaper.
That is weird. But like our whole little neighborhood, I don't know if they're doing like a free whatever. Like
I didn't get one.
Oh, well, our side. I noticed me, Chris, Karen, we all got one.
Oh.
And he's throwing them out. And if he throws it to her, he like takes a flashlight and goes and finds it so that it's like on your.
This is the best paper
know.
Boy there's ever been.
But I also think he was foreign and he didn't speak English because he wouldn't answer at first. So I'm watching him like, oh, I'm going to get his license plate. Girl, I go up to the car.
Oh my gosh, Megan.
Without thinking.
What is James doing? Naked James.
He's standing on the porch in a towel and he's like got his phone ready to call 911, but he's in a towel.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, I'll read the numbers back to you. And I got there. And then I see him get out again with his flashlight. And I said, what are you doing? And he like shines the flashlight, doesn't respond, I guess, because he doesn't speak English, but he shines the flashlight like really on the newspaper. Like that's it. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, James, go back inside. That man is just delivering newspapers.
What if it's just the perfect plan? He just comes with newspapers all the time, and if he gets busted, he's like, it's just a newspaper.
Well, then he's been doing it for a week because he's not
stolen. A long con, Megan.
He's not stolen the truck. Wish he would, but it's still there. And yet newspapers every day have been delivered for a week.
That is so weird. I have not gotten a one.
Well, we all do on our side.
Rude. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and vote.
You made an executive decision.
For my birthday weekend.
Okay.
I don't want to edit a whole lot.
Okay, yeah.
In fact, we're getting close to the
Wait
point.
a second. Wait a second. Is this a backhanded compliment? Because at first I thought you were going to say, I just really want to hear your stories, and you told so many tonight.
Oh,
But
no.
instead you're like, I don't want you to read
No,
because
no,
that
no.
means I'll have to edit so much.
Absolutely not. That's not what I was saying. In fact, I messed up every other line on mine. I'm going to have to edit that out.
I'm just teasing you for real.
I actually have contacted someone for editing, but they're just slightly out of our budget.
Oh,
So
girl.
if you love me out there, Patreons, or want to be Patreons, if you're on the fence, just know we're almost to the point where I could just pay somebody to edit this.
Seamless.
I know. She reached out today out of the blue, and part of me was like, this is a birthday present to myself.
Oh.
I'm going to let her edit it because I can afford one episode.
Well, then let's do it.
Well, no, because that's last minute at this point, I'm sure.
Oh,
but
okay.
anyways, I can edit. When we're just bantering, there's very little editing.
Yeah.
The big one is when we're reading because we're not good at it. So, anyways, as a gift to myself, and because you gifted us with excellent stories, I say we call it here. It might be a shorty, but a goodie.
Hey, it's your birthday. You cry if you want to.
Yeah,
but
I don't want to cry. I don't actually want to cry, which is why I'm cutting it short.
Perfect. There you go.
All right, so you're up for fan favorite.
Oh my gosh, I'm so okay. So for your birthday,
okay,
I asked someone.
I love that you're making this sound like you planned it that way.
Shh.
Okay.
Go with it, Erin.
Oh, okay. What'd you do for my birthday, Jason?
No. I asked someone from your childhood.
Okay.
Someone near and dear to you, the one that only Nick, and he's got 4 letters in his last name.
There's only one Nick from my childhood.
I know, right?
Rhymes with Ness. Oh man, mom shipped us before shipping was a thing. Where you like
shipped you?
That's when you're like, I want you to marry this person. I want you to be together.
Oh.
She wanted me and Nick to be in love since the day we met Nick.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I've always only said his first and last name together.
Yeah.
I always say it together. Yeah. And he's one of those people, their names just flow so well.
Right.
So it's going to be hard for me to not say his name. But I'm like, of course you did. It's Nick.
Yeah.
Like, of course she did. It's Nick. You know, he's fabulous.
In fact, so much really quick. I know, sorry, it's all about Nick. But when I met Kevin, she was like, you know who he reminds me of? Nick's brother. I'm like, you're so weird. And then she called him by his brother's name for the first year I was with Kevin. I'm like, I promise I've never dated anybody with that name. I promise she's just weird.
Funny. That's hilarious. Well, we asked Nick because Nick has always shown us support. We're pretty sure he's a listener. No, I think he is. And he has stated on our Facebook page that he does listen, and he is so funny. Yes. He is just a gem.
He's also talked several times about writing in. He just hasn't yet. I'm hoping this is the push.
Oh, damn. I should have made him not our fan. I should have said, you will be our fan favorite as soon as you write in, Nick.
That's right.
Come on, Nick. You know us. You owe us. We spent our whole childhood.
You know us. You owe us. I love it.
You know us. You owe us. It'll be our title. Okay, here we go. This is Nick's plug. He is so funny. I have not read this yet. I gave my little Nick, I picked you. And then I said, what can we plug for you, my friend? He said, I knew this day would come. I would like to thank the Academy, Old Taylor Place. That was our old neighborhood. Our neighborhood where we grew up. The Clem family. My parents for not squashing my twisted childhood love of horror and the macabre. The ghost of Old Nugget, the horse buried at OTP Stables. Absolutely. Who am I forgetting? He is so funny. We have stables behind our house in our neighborhood.
That made it sound so bougie.
Oh, we're not.
Our parents' neighborhood is a little bit bougie. We do not live in the bougie.
No.
We had to leave that lifestyle, not by choice.
Yeah. We decided to be teachers.
Right. And here we are.
Yeah, but that's fine. It's fine. We love our homes.
We love it.
Thank you both. Let me actually ponder that for a minute, and I'll give you a real answer. And then came up with a real answer, and here it is. Actually, I don't need a minute. It comes right back. I would like to plug the Human Rights Campaign. I think you and Erin and I all have too many people in our lives whose rights are marginalized.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So He wants us to promote the Human Rights Campaign. And here it is. And it's too long to say.
We've donated to them before from another fan favorite. We'll do it again.
We will do it again. So it says join our fight, and we will. And so here we go. Nick, you're so fun.
He is so fun. He's basically in 80% of my childhood memories.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember always you're like, I'm going to go play with Nick. And we're like, bye. And you were always gone playing at Nick's house, or Nick would be at our house. He's a great kid.
I remember the day after Halloween at preschool, he came to school so scared and said, why? Erin, your mom.
Oh, because she's a witch.
Is a witch.
Oh, well, we've always known that.
Mom would dress up like a real witch, and she'd have like a big, what are those kettles? What are those called?
Well, she used to do it in the hot tub, remember?
I don't think that happened. No. I think you're making that
up. No, I am.
She made him go to the back?
No, we had a Halloween party one time.
Oh,
and she went in the back, and she put like the red light in the, I mean, she was fun.
She still is. She's still around. She's still fun.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was comparing her to myself. I'm like, oh man, I should be more fun as a mom. But she made like Halloween so fun. And she would put that red light in the hot tub and then bubble it and make it her. And she would get up there with her big, I mean, she was in full green makeup and just looked like the best witch, a big wart on her nose. And she's sitting there with that cauldron.
Is it a cauldron? Why does that word sound so weird to her?
Why do I want to call it a cobbler? I do like a good cobbler.
It's definitely not a cobbler.
No, it's a cauldron.
Yeah, a cauldron.
Okay,
witch's cauldron.
Oh, witch's cauldron. But cobbler sounds better. So, I mean, to eat.
Yeah, you're right. But no, she would stir it. She was very convincing. And he came back in preschool and he was like, she is a witch.
Yeah.
I said, she's not a witch. She was dressed up. And he's like, I am telling you.
Oh my gosh.
She is a witch. And he wouldn't come to our house for a little while. He was really afraid of her.
Especially before 10 o'clock in the morning. Then she really is a witch.
That's a legit. Yeah, she did not call the Clinton house before 10 a.m.
She didn't make anything fun if you woke her up before 10 o'clock in the morning.
She would make you regret all your life decisions.
It's so smart. Such a smart woman.
Yeah.
She trained us from such an early age. Do not wake me up unless you're dying.
Yeah, and it's ingrained in me. Like I don't have her fury, the way she could portray that to other people. But if my kids are like, "Can I call so and so?" I'm like, "Before 10 a.m.?"
Oh, never.
Are you kidding me?
Never.
It is 9:38 on a Saturday morning. Absolutely not.
Yeah, to this day, if we accidentally text Dad before 10 o'clock, he's like, "Oh, you all are brave." She might hear my phone go off.
Yeah, breaking that 10 o'clock rule.
You don't do that. But she also, going back to the Halloween party. Sorry, I just keep thinking of like how, like the layers of fun she made it. I can remember peeling all of those grapes to make them feel like eyeballs.
Yep.
And then the spaghetti. And then she made like a big thing. I mean, we should do that for our kids someday, Erin.
It's okay. Your teachers did it. I heard Miles the other day tell me, he said, well, this was the best day I've ever had in my whole life. And I said, that's awesome. Why? He's like, I got to feel zombie brains. Don't worry. They were noodles. I got to feel eyes. Don't worry. They were grapes. He was so matter of fact, but he did all of it. He did all of it on Halloween, and he was super pumped about it. It was the best day of his life. I can't believe he hasn't told you yet.
Awesome.
So we don't have to. That's what teachers are for.
Yeah. The good ones.
The good teachers. Not us.
Not us. No.
I don't have a homeroom. I'm not going to do that with 500 kids. You kidding me?
Girl, I didn't even end up being a walkie-talkie. You know what I was? Nothing. I totally forgot.
I was a watercolor, and it was pretty good.
You did a good job. Not me. I just totally, luckily so did my other walkie-talkie. Like, that was perfect. We both forgot. Like, I would have felt really bad if she had shown up as a walkie-talkie and I didn't.
Oh my goodness. Well, Nick, thank you so much. You're awesome. You've always been awesome.
Always.
Does he still live in Louisville? We should hang out.
I don't know. It would be so fun to catch up.
It would be a blast to catch up.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Well, Nick, your mission, we will donate. And your mission is to hang out with us if you're still in Louisville. Bring your wife. I want to meet her.
Yeah. That'd be a great time.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to my birthday episode. Sorry, it was one story, except really it was like 5.
Listen.
Megan came prepared.
When I have something to say, I deliver.
I love it. It's great. It made little work for me. I actually told Megan earlier, I'm like, I don't know if we can record this week. I have been bitchy all week.
It happens.
But today this helped.
Oh, good. Well, good. I mean, that was the
Yeah.
whole purpose of this to begin with. So
Yeah.
I'm glad
This
it did its
bourbon
job.
didn't hurt either. But anyways, so thank you guys. If you would like to help our podcast at all, go to our website, www.myskepticalsister.com, where you can find out how to become a Patreon. You can find out about any upcoming events. You can find our contact information, and you can write in your personal ghost stories, or you can write those in at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. You can also rate, review, subscribe, and you can follow us on our socials like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok.
There it is. She delivered it.
I can breathe.
Like the mature 49-year-old that she is.
Oh my gosh. I will be 38. Sophie said I was close to 40 today.
Girl, you are. You've been close to 40 ever since you hit past 35.
35. Ever since you hit 35, you've been close to 40.
And I love to visit Owensboro.
Oh my gosh. If you're going to make fun of my age.
I don't care. Make fun of my accent. I'm from Kentucky and I'm proud of it.
All right. I've got 2 more years. 2 more solid years.
Hey, how about this? Embrace your 40s.
How about I will when I get there?
Turns out they're not
But when I get there, I will.
No, listen, do what I did. I still do it. I'll tell everybody I'm way older than I am. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 45. Because then here's the thing, they're like, damn, you look good for a 45-year-old. I'm like, I know, right? I've been telling them I'm 45 since I was like 25. I'm like, looking good. No, I would always just go like a year up, or just so that I could like wear it in, feel it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. Then it comes and I'm like, yeah.
That's 2 years ahead. Fine. I'll tell you I'm turning 39. That's a lie. I'm turning 38.
Yeah.
But
no, you know it's a lie, which is fine as long as you know it's a lie.
All right. Let's wrap this up. I'm turning 38.
Okay. She wasn't even willing to give it a go.
Maybe it's just because the other day I was FaceTiming Mom and she goes, oh my gosh, look at all that gray hair. That's your mother.
Hey, you're right, Nick. She is a witch.
She's a witch.
A witch with a B.
One way of putting it. I was like, how dare.
Oh, how dare.
All right. Anyways, wrap it up.
Okay. Are you saying goodbye?
Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you next week.
Buena Vista, Erin. That's happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
In Italian. You're welcome. I know, because I worked at Olive Garden. It's fun. This time,
she kind of looked like, sorry.
Oh, my bad. Whoops.
Just checking on that cat.
It'd be so funny to read her mind and know that she really knew what we were doing.
Oh,
and she's like,
go lay down, Ellie. Go lay down. Lay down. Go lay down. You're passing everywhere where you would lay down. Go get her bed.
She reminds me a lot of Macy James right now.
Lay down. Go lay down.
Definitely not as loud.
Go lay down.
Let's just go for it and see what she does.
All right.
She just wants airtime.
She does.
Yeah,
that's totally a podverse.
Totally
podverse.
A podverse.
That's a podverse.
You just made a new term. That's podworst.
That's podverse there.
Like a bratwurst? Only.
Yeah, it made me hungry. It's probably because I wanted a bratwurst tonight at the ball game and they were all out.
Oh, that sucks. Yes.
Oh my
gosh. It's a podworst. But I didn't know if we're. Did
you see my light just flash behind you?
No, because it's behind me.
I didn't know if you could see it. I like your peripheral.
No, I didn't.
The corner lamp just went.
Oh, electricity.
But just one light. They're on the same.
Light bulbs.
I think there's 2 light bulbs in that lamp.
One of them is.
They both just went out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that must be the doll communicating now through your lamp.
Hey, Anthony, if that's you, will you let a light flicker?
Oh my gosh, Erin, you just summoned a ghost. You said you never would.
Anthony's my buddy. All right.
He did.
Tony.
Now look, in 20 minutes, if that goes off for you, like, it was Anthony.
He used up all his energy the first time.
He's so tired.
He takes a lot of energy to make that light go once. He's like, oh, hold on, I gotta recharge.
Am I talking way too much? But
no, I thought I had a bucket up there. It's just the.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were like, I saw a person up in there, your little hole. Well, that was nonchalant. Also, they don't realize you have a hole up there that sounded really dirty. So, little man in my hole.
La 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 la.